Hi guys, I'm Nate from Good Mayhem Racing. This is 3 out of the 4 Garmin Tread XLs that we are using for Vegas to Reno. I am one of the navigators for UC Motorsports in the race next week, and this is a video walking you through Birdseye imagery, what you can do to download high-resolution satellite imagery on your device. Let's begin. In order to make good use of your investment with your Garmin Tread XL Baja Race Edition or Chase Edition, first make sure that you have your Wi-Fi connected, and then from there you are plugged in and charging. USB-C is fine in this case. You can also use your car's power, but I think it's kind of a waste, especially when you realize how much work it's going to take to get one of these devices synced, let alone 3 or 4. So make sure it's in focus. Yes. So first, Wi-Fi. Second, plug it in. Go to Apps, then in Tools, go to Settings, scroll down to About Device, scroll all the way down to Build Number, and tap that over and over and over. Now you are a developer. Go back, scroll down, Developer Options, scroll down to this, Stay Awake. Sorry, wrong button. Stay Awake, turn it on. See how that's switched over there? Turn it on. That way when the thing is plugged in, it stays awake. This is a very useful feature for the race car. This is a very useful feature for the chase car, and it's most useful for downloading updates. You can do your system updates, that's fine. Downloading your maps, downloading your software, but we're really not interested in that right now. We are here for the Birdseye Direct, Birdseye imagery. Do you see how this has 53 gigabytes worth of data in Birdseye Direct? Never, ever delete this, because this is the high resolution data for northern Baja. You can physically zoom down to the craziest degree where you can see individual rocks, individual cacti, individual tufts of brush, and everyone can see where you are and you can see where you are. This is really nice data to have, but if you're not racing in North Baja, you're gonna have to download it somewhere else. So there is an icon on the top left-hand corner. This is where you can download your map. Ideally, like you see all of these roads here, ideally you actually have the race course already downloaded onto your device. I don't have that here, but I will use my buddy's tracking markers as an example. Blake Gladiator, I want to download the data around his place, so I just tap the screen. If you tap it anywhere, it will automatically center to that point on the screen, and it says that little square. But we want a big square. That would be nice. How big of a square can we do? It depends upon the level of detail you download. Standard is the kind of data that you will see from an online website, like your Google Earth and Google Maps and stuff like that. If you want really high resolution, it's around 19 megabytes in this case, or highest 49 megabytes. I can hit save, and just for that 5 square miles, it's 50 megabytes worth of data. Off-road racing happens in a huge surface area though. Much more like 70 miles in one direction, another 70 miles in another direction, another 70 miles in another direction. So you can see that I have now increased this to a 70 mile by 70 mile square, and it is suddenly 8 gigabytes worth of data, 8.7 to be exact. The one thing you should never do with this is save it to internal storage. If you do not have a micro SD card, get one, because it is really, really handy for downloading satellite imagery. Sometimes these devices will have to reset in the field, and you don't want to lose all of your data. So use a memory card. okay? See if I can do this with my gloves. Nope. All right, taking out my memory card, putting in my memory card. Get the 256 gigabyte memory card, the absolute maximum that you can buy. And once that thing recognizes that it has a micro SD card, use it. Save. 70 miles squared, almost 9 gigabytes worth of data. You know what? I want to be able to download the area that both of my friends are in, Emily and Blake. Now we're just going to hit download. Don't care about that. Now it's downloading. At this point in time, wait for it to be done, or if you have a really good memory, you can go back to Birdseye Direct and start downloading the next area of opportunity. If you wanted to get the satellite imagery from the start of a race course to the end of the race course, let's just use cities for example. If I wanted to download all the satellite imagery from Houston to New Orleans, I would physically tap and get the box of data around the course. That's it. And I would tap it, download it, tap it, download it, tap it, download it, tap it, download it, and tap it, download it, and do it again and again and again until I get down to New Orleans. This is how you should do it for your race. So for Vegas to Reno, if you have the data, if you have the race course, just download the satellite imagery around the race course because it's going to collect gigs really fast. Like this one 70 by 70 mile square at the highest download is almost 9 gigabytes worth of data. That's a lot of data. You'll easily put 50 to 60 gigabytes worth of satellite data onto a device, and that's why it's worth putting it on the memory card. When these things master reset, they lose all of their downloaded Birdseye Direct imagery unless it's saved to the memory card. It will not kill the data on the memory card. So download this data to the memory card. This has got 0.7% of this downloaded. I don't have good internet in my garage, but you can see that this is going to take time, hours, days even, if it's enough data. So be mindful, get a race course, download the race course. Even if it's not perfect, it'll give you a good idea of where to download your data. Then go to Birdseye Direct and then download each square as you go. You can pick your size, but in general, get the highest quality that you can download that will fit on your memory card. Remember, we're talking about gigabytes worth of data here. This is 5 miles worth of data. You can do 140 miles on the high setting. That looks like a really big surface area. Well, if you are only using a third of that area, you can download it in much smaller squares and still have good, relevant, high resolution data, especially when you're at highest. Like, you see this right here? Highest, 35 gigabytes. You might see this error come up. The currently selected size exceeds the maximum size for a new detail level. The size will be automatically adjusted. Okay, it's dropped it back down to like 8.9 gigabytes, just that area that it can download and manage with its memory. And you'll have to do it again and again and again and again along your race course until you get from the start to finish. And ideally, it happens on every single Garmin device. The chase models and the race cars. At an absolute minimum, get the highest level of data onto the race car and then get high satellite imagery on your chase cars. Realistically though, these are all set up the exact same way for 2 reasons. 1, consistency. 2, it looks cool. And 3, if one device goes down, you can use one of the other devices for redundancy's sake. Like when a piece of navigation equipment in a car like a Lowrance or an iPad or one of these devices, if it goes down in the race car, it's kind of an all panic because You don't have navigation anymore. How do you deal with that? Well, you can physically take one of the chase cars, you rob their device, put it in your race car and go. That's a really handy feature about all of these devices. And since they can all track each other and see where they are in the world, that's even better. So download the Birdseye Direct Imagery, download it onto the memory card, not the internal storage, and from there, download as much of it as you need for the race. From your starting point to your ending point, download as much of it as you can. I'm Nate from Good Mame Racing. I will see you out in the desert, if not my garage. Like and subscribe for more.